You talked a bit about getting ready for test day. When are you taking the LSAT?
June.
Okay. And you were asking about, should you do time tests at this point? If so, how many a week?
hmm
How many have you been doing right now so far on average?
I've been scared. I haven't done
Yeah.
it.
Obviously, it's very natural. You're not alone in that. But what exactly makes you scared to take a timed exam?
Just feeling like I'm going to stop in the middle and not complete it. And just, I don't know, I guess all of the information is kind of scary. But now that I'm getting to understand it a little bit better, it's not as scary, but I still haven't taken the full time test yet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is scary. And of course, the early results can definitely be discouraging. They certainly were for me. My first dozen or so exams I did timed, I was consistently hitting my lowest scores over and over and over. And it made me feel dumb and it was frustrating. And it turned out that I hadn't really fully grasped the fundamentals before doing those timed exams. And I think of the LSAT as being like a foreign language. So if you if you get a low score, all that tells you is that you haven't learned that language yet. You're not yet proficient, but you can with time. And of course, we've got about 2 months until June, plenty of time to undergo a transformation in your understanding of this exam. But you talked about, I want to focus on exactly what you said here, not just to share my story, but
hmm
you talked about stopping in the middle and not finishing it.
Right.
What would get in the way of you finishing it?
Just me spending a lot of time on one question.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Now, so if you were to sit down and do a timed exam, that would be, of course, the 35-minute sections, including a break in the middle. It might take around 3 hours or so.
hmm
Now, if you knew that you had the clock ticking and you had that time counting down, what could you do if you find yourself getting bogged down?
Breathe.
Breathe, yes. Breathing is key.
um, while I'm taking the test, what can I do?
Yeah. What can you do to just keep yourself pushing ahead?
Just take a break, I guess a mental break from it, a 5-second mental break.
Yeah, definitely.
Encourage myself, maybe.
Sure, those are all great solutions. I'm not even giving you anything here. You're just saying these on your own. That's awesome. One other thing does come to mind, and that idea is to just let go of that question.
Okay.
Just skip that question, move on, hope to come back to it later. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But you don't necessarily need to get every single question correct to get a decent score.
Okay.
It's a funny thing, but you can get 10 questions wrong or so and still get a 170, which is the top 3% of all test takers. It's a crazy curve on this exam. It's not reasonable.
hmm
This exam is not meant for most people to be able to finish it in the time allotted. And getting bogged down is really natural. It's a really natural position to be in. And so if you're getting stuck on something, you could just drop it, move on to the next one, and hope to come back to it later. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but at least you didn't get yourself bogged down on something that wasn't worth your time.
Right. That makes sense.